Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I need a very solid prayer. Please pray as hard as you can. I'm gonna go home and think about some art that I can do, something novel this time, because obviously what I've been doing has not been making me a fortune. It's been making a name for myself, but not necessarily a fortune. So I'm gonna have to think hard, do a little soul searching, and I was just thinking how nice it would be if I made one piece that sold for a solid five-figure amount. It doesn't even have to be like retirement money, but just a bridge to get me where I need to go. Right? Right now, I'm driving a car that's making me nervous because I'm driving a Kia Forte 2014. It's got 200,000 miles on it. To give you an idea how much my car makes me nervous, a lot of times if I have something semi-important to go to, I end up getting there like 3 hours early and just sightseeing in that area because I don't want to miss it. I had a friend from church who was very nice to set me up on a blind date, and I drive there 3 hours early. I take a little short trip for myself, a hike, just to be in that general area. And when the date finally came, I was kind of off a little bit. I mean, it still turned out well, but it could have been better if I didn't have all this transportation anxiety, if you will. Ditto when I applied for the job here at Glendale Community College. I got here 3 hours early. I took a tour of the campus. And when I finally sat down face to face with the interviewer, you got to remember, I applied for the job back in September. You can look up how hot it is in September here in Glendale. And by the time I got to there, I was kind of in a wreck. Right, I was sweating, and good thing that the interviewer had the good sense to understand that I wanted to kind of tour the campus a little bit anyway. I'd like to go replace that car, but then now I have this long distance relationship. I was kind of doing a little research on how often you should visit in a long distance relationship. Long story short, when I did the math on how much I would have to spend doing that, the math really didn't math at all. It wasn't even close. I'd probably have to give up, among other things, accumulating the precious metals, and I contribute to my Roth IRA. The good news is that I make too much to qualify for the Savers credit, so that makes it a little bit less painful to stop contributing to the Roth IRA. But I still need to, I'd still like to be taking advantage of the market when there's a dip, right? But the math didn't math is the problem. And obviously I've really pushed my car to the edge in terms of how far it will go. I'm really gambling every month I put off replacing the car. I'm really gambling that one of these days something important is going to come up and the car's just going to give up on me. Right? I'm already taking a huge gamble. I don't know how I made these last few major commitments. I had, among other things, multiple first dates, two job interviews, and a conference, and somehow my car didn't fail me on any of that. But I took huge gambles, I would say, on all of that. Uh, Not to mention, I don't have the best roommates in the world. Not the worst roommates, but not the best ones either. Yesterday, my roommate accused me of stealing his cigarettes. I have an alcoholic roommate. He probably smoked the cigarettes without even remembering. Every night, I hear the door opening over and over and over. It's become like an alarm clock when I wake up in the morning because he goes out to smoke. Because we have a pretty noisy door, which is nice. It's become my de facto alarm clock. And then he has the nerve to say that I stole his cigarettes. The other day, I was kind of joking with him because I know deep down, he wants to stop smoking. So I joked with him and I told him how cigarettes are radioactive, and he didn't believe me. And and then by coincidence, his cigarettes disappeared. So he accused me of stealing them. And and then my other roommate, he and I got into a little bit of a tiff because I was about to make some art to give as a reward to another friend of mine who was nice enough to set me up on a blind date, and I couldn't get to that because they had all this equipment set up to watch the Super Bowl, And when I plugged in my furnace, it caused his TV to shut off, and he was so upset that he had missed something on the TV. And it just makes me wish that I had better housing, right? All right, I'm gonna go home and make that 21st century Mona Lisa. Please pray for me. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.